James Dorsey joins us from Singapore. Mr. Dorsey is a senior fellow at the S. Rajaratnam School of International Studies. Thanks for joining us here on the program. In the months before Haftar launched this offensive, he saw his foreign support grow, as well as his influence in Libya grow. Do you think that we would be at this stage in Libya without that foreign support?
Probably not, but his support has been really from the outset. Libya has been as much a civil dispute within the country as it has been a dispute primarily between Gulf states, with Qatar and to some degree Turkey supporting the UN-recognized government of Libya, and the Gulf states, primarily the United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, and then Egypt, supporting General Haftar. That support has significantly increased very recently, and is part of what has emboldened him now to try and take Tripoli.
This offensive on Tripoli comes at the same time as we're seeing changes in power in Sudan and Algeria, with long-term presidents being forced out over public pressure. This is a much different situation in Libya, of course, but do you think that this is part of a larger change that we're seeing happening in North Africa?
I think two things. One is what we're seeing is a process that started in 2011. And political transitions normally take anywhere between a quarter and half a century. So we're sort of in at best in the first third of the stage, and you're seeing that now play out in North Africa. What's happening in Libya is probably less have less of a model of what could happen in Algeria, but could be a signal of what could happen in Sudan, where you had an Islamist government. You had General Bashir fall, but you still have Islamist elements within the Sudanese army, and it's not theoretically not impossible that the Sudanese army would split.
Do you think Haftar's support could increase, and that eventually he could get the backing of the international community for his offensive in Tripoli and in Libya?
I, at this point, would doubt it. But having said that, one of the issues is that on both sides, you have mercenaries involved. And you've seen reports in recent days of a greater mercenary involvement on the part of the Tripoli government. And as a consequence of that, concern of where the government was going and some question mark of whether between the two, Haftar may be the better alternative.
All right, James Dorsey joining us from Singapore. Thank you.